When you understand your mind, nothing controls you. Buddha. Hi folks, welcome to the channel. Before we start, I want to make one thing clear. The mind cannot be understood by thinking. There is no guide or technique that can teach you how to understand the mind. The understanding comes from deep within. Let that sink in. Close your eyes for a moment, not to shut out the world, but to notice the world inside. Listen to the movement in your mind, the thoughts flickering, the emotions shifting, the subtle restlessness that never seems to stop. And realize this: we spend our whole lives living inside the mind, but very few of us have ever truly met it. We try to understand it by thinking harder, by analyzing more, by wrestling with thoughts as if the mind were a puzzle to solve. But the Buddha showed us something very different. He taught that the mind cannot be understood by diving deeper into thoughts, but by stepping back and becoming aware of them, like watching a river instead of trying to control its flow, like noticing a cloud instead of fighting the weather. This isn't philosophy, it isn't theory, it's an experience, and it begins with a single moment of awareness. In this video, we're not going to think about the mind. We're going to feel it, observe it, sit with it, and slowly uncover its true nature through the lens of Buddhist insight. Not as a concept to memorize, but as a living reality you can sense in your own breath right now. So take one gentle inhale, and as it leaves your body, let's begin the journey of truly understanding the mind. Before we try to understand the mind, just pause and feel the way it moves. Notice how a thought appears, not because you invited it, not because you willed it. It simply rises, like a ripple on the surface of a river. Another thought follows, then another. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes gentle, sometimes chaotic, but always moving. This is the first truth the Buddha pointed to. The mind is a flow, not a thing, a process, not an object, an unfolding, not a solid identity, just like a river. You cannot hold a river in your hands. You cannot freeze its movement. You cannot demand that one wave stay and another disappear. The mind is the same. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, they rise, shift, dissolve. None of them stay. None of them obey you. None of them can be fixed in place. And when you begin to see this, not intellectually, but through direct experience, something softens. You stop trying to control every thought. You stop taking every feeling personally. You stop wrestling with your own mind. Instead, you stand on the riverbank and watch. You begin to witness the current instead of drowning in it. This witnessing, this simple, spacious awareness, is the doorway to understanding the mind, not by force, not by analysis, but by presence. Because a river reveals its nature only when you stop thrashing in the water and allow yourself to observe its endless, effortless flow. Now that we've seen the mind as a river, the Buddha invites us to take the first, simplest, and most transformative step. Just watch. Not with effort, not with tension, not with the intention to change anything. Simply Watch. Close your eyes for a moment and let the next thought come on its own. Don't chase it. Don't push it away. Just notice how it appears, unexpected, uninvited, like a bubble rising through water. Then watch how it fades. Another thought comes and goes. A feeling warms the chest and dissolves. A memory flickers and disappears into silence. This is the heart of Buddhist practice. Sati, pure, uncomplicated awareness. Not judging, not comparing, not labeling thoughts as good or bad. Just knowing them as they arise, like sitting on a hill and watching clouds drift across the sky. The Buddha taught that the moment you watch the mind without trying to fix or control it, a powerful shift happens. You are no longer inside the storm. You become the sky in which the storm appears. Thoughts lose their grip. Emotions soften. The inner noise begins to quiet on its own. Understanding the mind starts here, not with effort, but with gentle, open presence. Just watch. Let the mind reveal itself to you, moment by moment, exactly as it is. As you begin to watch the mind, something subtle but extraordinary starts to reveal itself. You notice that thoughts are just appearances. They rise, they linger for a moment, and they fall away. Just like sounds, just like sensations, just like the wind passing through trees. The Buddha taught that a thought is simply an event in consciousness, not a truth, not a command, not a reflection of who you are, just an event. Yet most of us spend our lives believing every thought the mind throws at us. I'm not good enough. This will go wrong. People don't care about me. What if I fail? What if I lose everything? We don't question them. We don't watch them. We merge with them. But take a moment now and notice this. The thought appears within you, but it is not you. Watch it the way you'd watch a cloud, shifting shape, drifting by, never staying long. Or like watching a movie on a screen. The images move, the characters speak, but the screen is untouched. Your awareness is that screen. When you truly see this, not intellectually, but in the quiet honesty of your own experience, a space opens inside you. A space where thoughts lose their authority. A space where you don't have to believe everything you think. A space where you can let the mind do what minds do, and still remain calm, grounded, and clear. This is freedom, not from thoughts, but from being controlled by them. The Buddha didn't say, stop thinking. He said, see thoughts clearly, and their power will fall away. When you look at a thought and simply acknowledge it as just a thought, you step out of its grip. You begin to experience the mind not as a tyrant, but as a passing weather pattern in the vastness of your awareness. And in that vastness, understanding begins to deepen. Thoughts are like clouds, but emotions, they're different. Emotions live in the body. You can feel them, a tightness in the chest, a knot in the stomach, a heaviness behind the eyes, a buzzing under the skin. Most of the time, we don't let ourselves feel any of this. We escape into distraction. We numb ourselves with noise. We drown emotions with more thinking. But the Buddha taught something simple, radical, and deeply compassionate. Feel the emotion, not the story about the emotion. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice what your body is doing right now. Is there tension, warmth, pressure, restlessness, softness? Don't label it. Don't judge it. Just feel it. Let the emotion be a wave moving through the body, not a problem to solve. Sadness may feel like a heaviness in the chest. Fear may feel like tightening in the gut. Anger may feel like heat in the face. But notice this. The sensation is always changing, shifting, softening, rearranging itself from moment to moment. Just like everything else in the mind, emotions flow. When you stop resisting them, they move on their own. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to heal anything. You only have to allow. The Buddha called this turning toward instead of turning away. When you turn toward an emotion with awareness, it becomes just another appearance, like a wave rising and falling in the open ocean of your being. And in that openness, something beautiful happens. The emotion stops controlling you. It stops defining you. It loses the story it was wrapped in. You realize, I am feeling sadness is very different from I am sad. One is an experience. The other is an identity. Awareness makes all the difference. When you feel an emotion directly, in the body, without the story, without resistance, you discover a quiet truth. The emotion is temporary. You are not. The mind is not you. You are the awareness. As you watch your thoughts and feel your emotions, a deeper realization begins to glow beneath the surface. Something subtle, something surprising, something freeing. You begin to notice that thoughts are happening, but you are not creating them. Emotions are moving through the body, but you are not choosing them. Memories appear, sensations shift, images flash through the mind, and yet none of this is under your control. They simply arise, just like waves on the ocean, just like wind moving through trees, just like ripples forming on water without anyone touching it. And here is the Buddha's most radical, liberating insight. If you cannot control these experiences, how can they be you? Close your eyes for a moment. Notice a thought. It appears, stays briefly, then fades. Now notice this. You were there before the thought. You are there after the thought. You remain when the thought is gone. The same is true for emotions, for sensations, for every internal movement. Everything that arises within you comes and goes, but something does not come and go. Something is always present, always here, unmoved. Awareness. Awareness is not a thought. Awareness is not an emotion. Awareness is not a belief or memory. It is the space in which all of those things appear. This awareness is calm even when the mind is chaotic. It is still, even when thoughts are racing. It is spacious, even when emotions feel overwhelming. You cannot see awareness as an object because it is the one who sees. You cannot think about awareness because it is deeper than thought, but you can sense it. Right now, notice the part of you that is simply watching, the part that does not judge, does not cling, does not resist, that just knows. This is what the Buddha called anatta, not self. Not that you don't exist, but that the self you cling to is not a solid thing. It is a stream of changing experiences observed by something untouched. When you see this for even a moment, a weight drops from your chest. The grip of fear loosens. The pressure to control everything softens. The inner voice loses its power because you realize you are not the chatter. You are not the storm. You are the sky it all moves through. When the Buddha observed the mind with complete stillness and clarity, he discovered something astonishing, something that doesn't appear when the mind is busy, but reveals itself when all striving falls away. He saw that beneath all thoughts, beneath all emotions, beneath all memories and identities, there is a natural brightness, a clarity, a stillness, a spacious, open presence that is always here, even when you're not looking. The mind, when not clouded by craving or fear, is luminous, not glowing with light, but radiant in its purity, like a lake that becomes clear once the mud settles to the bottom. Close your eyes again for a moment. Feel the awareness that is present even before a single thought arises. Feel the quiet that exists between one breath and the next. Notice the simple knowing that's always here, even when the mind moves wildly. This knowing, this open, spacious awareness, is the true nature of mind. It's not something you create. It's not something you achieve. It's not something you gain through effort. It is what remains when effort falls away, when grasping falls away, when the stories lose their grip, when the self-image dissolves. The Buddha called this Paghasara Chitta, the luminous mind. This luminosity is not an experience to chase. It is not a peak state. It is not a mystical trance. It is the simple, silent presence that has been with you all your life, beneath every joy, beneath every sorrow, beneath every doubt, beneath every moment you felt lost or broken. It was there, unmoved, unchanged, untouched. This is what makes awakening possible, because the mind's true nature is already clear, already aware, already free. We do not polish it, we uncover it. We do not light it, we reveal it. We do not transform the mind into something else. We peel away the clouds that hide its brilliance. And when the clouds part, even briefly, you see something unforgettable. The mind is not a cage. It is a vast, luminous space in which all experience arises and passes. There is a moment, after watching thoughts drift and feeling emotions soften, when something unexpected begins to happen. You start to understand, but not with the mind that analyzes, not with the mind that argues, not with the mind that tries to make sense of everything. This is a different kind of understanding, a quieter one, a deeper one, a knowing that comes from seeing, not from thinking. The Buddha called this vipassana, insight. Not insight as in figuring things out, but insight as in directly experiencing the truth. Imagine a jar filled with muddy water. Shake it and everything is cloudy. Let it sit and the mud settles on its own. The water becomes clear without any effort. This is exactly what happens when you stop fighting the mind. When awareness watches thoughts instead of getting lost in them, when it feels emotions directly instead of resisting them, when it rests in its own spacious nature, the mind settles. And in that stillness, understanding arises naturally, not because you seek answers, but because the answers were always there, hidden beneath the noise. You begin to see that thoughts don't define you, that emotions don't last, that the self you cling to is not solid, that grasping creates suffering, that letting go brings peace. Nobody told you these things. You didn't read them in a book. You saw them, you felt them, you experienced them directly. This is the kind of understanding that changes your life. The Buddha said that real wisdom is like seeing fire. When you put your hand near it, you instantly understand heat, not because someone explained it, but because the experience is undeniable. In the same way, when awareness is steady and clear, you understand the mind without needing to think. This is insight, not effort, not struggle, just clarity. And in that clarity, you begin to taste the freedom the Buddha pointed to. When you watch the mind without clinging, when you feel emotions without resistance, when you rest in awareness without forcing anything, a quiet transformation begins. Not dramatic, not flashy, not a spiritual fireworks moment, but a gentle loosening, a softening, a spaciousness that starts to open inside you like dawn breaking slowly over the horizon. You notice you're no longer dragged by every passing thought. You're no longer pulled under by every emotion. You're no longer trapped in every story the mind creates. Instead, there is room to breathe, room to see clearly, room to choose how you respond instead of reacting automatically. This is inner freedom. Not the freedom to feel only good things, but the freedom to let all things come and go without losing yourself in the process. You feel an emotion, and instead of drowning, you simply watch it rise, peak, and fall away. You hear a thought, and instead of believing it blindly, you see it as just another ripple on the surface of awareness. The noise of the mind may still appear, but it no longer defines your world. It's just weather passing through a vast open sky. And that sky is you. This spaciousness is not something you create. It's what remains when you stop contracting around every experience. The Buddha described this as a cooling of the fires of craving, of aversion, of confusion. As they quiet, you feel lighter, more grounded, more at ease. There is a sense of returning home to something simple, something already inside you, something that was never actually lost. You begin to live with clarity, with gentleness, with a softness toward yourself and toward others. A mind that is not constantly battling itself naturally relaxes into kindness. This is the fruit of understanding the mind through awareness, a life with more space, more peace, and more freedom than you ever thought possible. Before this video ends, take one slow breath in and out. Feel the simplicity of this moment. No past, no future, just awareness, quiet and open. Everything we explored, the flow of thoughts, the movement of emotions, the spaciousness of awareness, the freedom that comes from seeing clearly, is not something to remember, it is something to experience. And you can experience it anytime you want. One breath, one moment of pause, one instant of watching the mind instead of being swept away by it. The Buddha did not teach the mind as a concept. He pointed us back to the immediacy of our own experience, to this breath, to this awareness, to this quiet place you can return to again and again. If something in these reflections resonated with you, carry it gently. Let it soften the way you speak, the way you move, the way you meet the world. And remember, you don't need to fight the mind. You don't need to control it. You don't need to conquer anything. You only need to see. In that seeing, the mind reveals its nature, and in that revelation, freedom unfolds. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Until next time, stay present, stay open, and rest often in the quiet light of your own awareness.